Hello everyone, my name's Carrie Ann Berga and this is my very first video tutorial that I created for fellow faculty and those who are interested in developing e-courses and online or blended learning modules. This is not meant to replace face-to-face or email discussions. However, I've had several questions about my work in developing a blended online course in a nursing program, so here I am. Ethically, I'd like to share I am not an expert in online learning or instructional design. However, I do have some experience, and I realize that there's maybe people out there who have extensive, phenomenal knowledge and experience with blended learning, and I do aspire to be as knowledgeable as you. However, I just wanted to share some of my experiences because I am considered to be an expert registered nurse. I'm master's prepared. I have my perinatal certification from the Canadian Nurses Association, and I'm also an international board certified lactation consultant. My ultimate goal is really optimizing learning and growth for my students. And outside of that, I'm a mom of 3, and I can often be found decorating my husband, family, and friends in Oilers paraphernalia and just chasing around my kids and my yellow lab. So I'm not an expert, however, I do have some experience and I wanted to share that with you. I really look forward to an ongoing dialogue with some of the viewers of this tutorial afterwards as well. So hopefully you'll keep in touch. So in terms of where I got started, I decided to take an online learning theories course, and in that I was able to redesign a course that I was currently teaching face-to-face. I was able to consider all aspects of the course that I wanted to redesign, and I created an online blended version of the course with a strong theoretical basis in andragogy and other adult learning principles that I will be sharing with you in a future video. Because e-learning does add that layer of complexity, you may want to take a course redesign institute or workshop, or even sign up for continuing education courses online through a local university or college. Now, this may help you really to talk about your ideas and think about what your theoretical basis is as well. Now, the next thing that I'm going to be suggesting is read. What does the literature say about online and blended learning within your discipline and profession? This may help to guide your course planning and implementation. So of course, for me being in nursing, I was looking at blended nursing in the nursing curriculum. Finally, you want to ponder your own teaching philosophy. Early on in my full-time faculty career, my good friend and mentor Margaret talked to me about being authentic to who I was. What is your teaching philosophy and what teaching frameworks do you want to use? What's the underlying theoretical basis and pedagogy? Be authentic to yourself. For example, I often use humor and funny memes in my classes. And if you're a philosophy buff, you'll know that this is one of my favorite little jokes here. And that's all about being authentic to who I am and how I teach. Be you. Everyone else is taken. In this next section, I'd like to share some of the helpful resources that I used in my course planning and course development. My next disclaimer is that none of these companies pay me or have paid me for using their products. I did receive a teaching and innovation funding grant to purchase Adobe Captivate through the university where I work. However, that was not through Adobe. So the first program that I want to tell you about, it's super simple to use, Screencast-O-Matic, and wouldn't you know, that's what I used to make this video along with PowerPoint. With Screencast-O-Matic, you can get a free screen recording or you can upgrade, and it's only about $15 US per year, and you'll have a little bit more capability with that. So you can check out their website and see what your own needs are. The next one I want to talk to you about is Adobe Captivate. This is the online authoring tool that can help to create e-learning content. I had heard about Captivate from a colleague in the online learning theories course that I took, which is part of the reason why I selected this product. I really wanted to make sure that the modules that I created were interactive and could be adapted and changed over time. That's really important in nursing because evidence changes and we're always updating our curriculum. Now, it was a major learning curve, and most of what I did achieve in Captivate was self-taught, but I was very happy with the end product and I feel a lot more comfortable using it. Future videos that I post will have tutorials on Captivate, and keep watching because in the next section I'm going to show you a demo of some of the Captivate modules that I created in the course. Next, Blackboard Learn and Kaltura are the 2 programs that are supported in the university where I teach. So of course that's going to be different depending on where you work and what learning management or LMS you're using. Typically what I would do is I would create those online interactive tutorials in Adobe Captivate, and then the remaining modules would be screencasted lectures that were uploaded into Blackboard to Kaltura. So that's sort of how I worked it, but again, there's lots of options out there. Some people use Moodles or other LMSs, as I said. I always like to say that sharing is caring. However, you always want to make sure that you're following copyright. And I wanted to mention a few of the resources that I've used or mentioned in this video tutorial. So I'm very grateful to MacEwan University, Algonquin College, Blackboard Learn and Kaltura, Captivate and Screencast-O-Matic. Jarvis is the textbook that we use through Elsevier, and the publisher did give me permission to use images as long as they were appropriately referenced, which makes sense. Khan Academy is a really well-known open access education website with lots of different resources, YouTube, of course, and other open access sources. So next, let's have a look at my actual course and what some of those Captivate modules look like. Here we are in my Blackboard site. This isn't live, so there's no identifying information here. You can see that all of my folders are set up, and discussion boards, that's something else that I'll post about, a video about later on, but I did have discussion board posts, and what I had students do was complete discussion boards for participation marks, and I created a rubric for marking those so they knew what their expectations were. But we'll talk about that another day. Let's go into learning units and PowerPoint presentations. So what you'll see in this section is the first 3 classes that I had in this course were face-to-face. The 4th class was online, and that class was actually only done through Kaltura or those Screencast-O-Matic lectures. So again, what I would do is I would record through Screencast-O-Matic like I am for this video, and then I would upload it into Kaltura. So we can actually go into this one if you want, and you can have a look at what that looks like. So pain assessment, and you can see that I've posted the PowerPoint here, another pain assessment tool, so some resources or links to resources as well, and sometimes they'd have to sign into the library to access those. And then you can see with this is with the Kaltura, it actually pops up sort of like a YouTube video, and it's taking a minute to load here, but students would be able to watch this, and I'm going to mute it, otherwise my voice will be playing, and they can scroll ahead to different areas of the video to hear about different things, or if they wanted to sort of go back and re-review something, they would be able to do that. So, and you can see here they can make it full screen. So that's the pain assessment, and again, that was just with Screencast-O-Matic, screencasted lectures, so not really a lot of interaction, but for the first online class, I wanted to keep it pretty straightforward for the students. Now I'm going to show you kind of a more complex learning unit. So let's scroll down to the respiratory assessment. Sometimes what I would do is like the respiratory assessment in nursing, it's a little bit more complex of an assessment, and we do tie in some information about oxygenation and chest physio and that kind of thing. So I had the first class online, and the second part of the class was face-to-face. So let's go look into the respiratory assessment. And in this section, once again, the first module here is actually in Captivate, and then you'll see some of the other screencasted lectures as well. You'll see that I do post the PowerPoint as well as different documents that students can print off or access electronically to take notes or different activities that I'll suggest. Those worksheet assignments aren't necessarily mandatory, but it's something that I encourage them to do so that they're really interacting with the material as they go through each module. So what they would do is they would start here, and I will be posting a video of how to get Captivate into Blackboard another day. However, I would click on here and it would open up in a new window. All right, so here we are. I've scrolled ahead a little bit just so that I can show you some of the interactive capabilities in Captivate. And so you can see at the bottom, there's play. You can go backward, forward, fast forward at different speeds. You can mute the volume as well. So let's click play, and you might hear my voice, but I'll mute it quickly after.
These reference lines may be helpful for your assessment.
Okay, so I'm going to mute that. And then this is actually a learning interaction where students can take some of these and try to figure out where they go. And then if they were incorrect after they hit submit, it would give feedback and say, oops, try again, or something like that. So that's another capability. Sometimes if I was just playing this through, you would be able to hear my voice. And again, I would, refer them back to their textbook. And there's also capabilities of making knowledge check questions. So there is a way to get these responses to communicate to LMSs. I didn't do that in this case. I just created quizzes in Blackboard for certain units. However, you can see that you can go through and answer questions. Oh, I didn't get it right. Try again. Okay, let's click this one. Yes, and I gave feedback. So you can give feedback for correct and incorrect answers in Captivate, which is really great. All right, I'm going to show you one more quick example of Captivate, and this is our cardiovascular assessment. Same idea. We've got worksheets, we've got study sheets, PowerPoint, we've got Captivate, and then we actually have some links to YouTube videos. So Khan Academy is here, as I mentioned previously. So let's have a look at the Captivate module for cardiovascular. Okay, so here we are in another Captivate module, and again, you'll hear my voice briefly.
Anatomy review is very important for the cardiovascular assessment, so I
And
highly
I'm
recommend it.
just going to mute that so that I can show you. So I'm going through the anatomy here, and you'll see that, you can do different animations and things like that. I try not to do a ton of animations in my PowerPoint, but in this situation where you're reviewing things and you're trying to capture sort of the student's attention or the learner's attention, I found that it was helpful. So again, you can see that I'm always keeping my references on here and referencing the original source. That's really important. So we'll go ahead through. And this one here is just sort of, it looks almost like a PowerPoint that you're clicking through, but it does it all automatically. And then you can see here too that I would be talking, my voice would be talking over this. This is an external link to that YouTube video so that it would open up in a new window. And it's talking about heart sounds and the blood flow through the heart. And again, that's a Khan Academy video that students would be linked to. So they get credit because they're visiting their site as well. It's not sort of embedded or recorded or screencasted or anything like that. Here's another quick example of a fill in the blank. So let's fill that in. Great work, you got it, and you can continue to do multiple choice. So the students seemed to like that because it made it a little bit more interactive and they were able to sort of check their knowledge as they went through. So I got positive feedback about that. Oh, didn't get that one right. Let's try again, and we'll put false, and then it gives feedback there. So that is a very brief overview of Captivate, and there were lots more different things that I did within Captivate. There were some rollovers that I did, as well as matching, and also you saw the drag and drop as well. So those are just a few ideas in Captivate that you can use to make things a little bit more interactive. Well, friends, that concludes my very first video tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please do consider subscribing to my channel or liking the video. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Let's be social. I am at elearnersrising, as well as my website is www.elearnersrising.ca. So together we can rise, we can learn, we can grow, we can become better learners, better instructors, all of those wonderful things. So thanks again for being here, and hope to see you soon. Ciao for now.